Manchester City 2, Leeds United 1. And although Leeds put up a good fight towards the end of the match, it wasn't quite enough. And Man City resoundingly won this game and once again extend their lead atop the table to 4 points as they look inevitable, really, to win the Premier League. And it's a shame because as an Arsenal fan going into this, I thought, the build-up around it. I always expected Man City to win this match. Of course, no one can bet against them at home against Leeds United, who are really struggling. But the Sam Allardyce factor, could it have made a difference? But in the end, it didn't at all, really. I thought Leeds were more dogged, as you'd expect them to be under a new manager, especially under Sam Allardyce. But City showed their class. City showed their quality, and they're well on their way now to win the Premier League, really. I think towards the end, it could have got nervy. It could have, but there just wasn't enough time left. And one thing about Man City is they proved it against Fulham as well last weekend. They know how to manage games even when it gets a little bit tough. Even when they do concede a goal, even when it is 2-1, they don't lose their heads. Just like when Arsenal went 2-1, were 2-1 up against West Ham but conceded the goal, we lost our heads a little bit. We started lumping the ball up, started abandoning everything that got us this position. What City do as soon as they go 2-1 up is they manage the game. They manage the game, man. They know how to take the ball into the corner, win corners, get tactical fouls, dominate possession, just to kill the other opposition and stop them getting any sort of momentum. And they won the game fair and square, to be honest. And now they go through to the Real Madrid game, and it's job done for Pep Guardiola. I think he would have expected to win the game by more goals, but the main thing is they won the game, and now they go into the Real Madrid tie with a lot of fresh bodies. Rodrigo didn't barely touch the field, etc. And who knows, man, that's going to be a tasty, tasty tie. Tommy, appreciate you joining the stream as always, my friend. Real Madrid should have confidence watching that. You say that, but I look at that Man City team, and this is the crazy thing, right? When Arsenal lose one or two of their main players, who are the second challengers to Man City to win this Premier League, we look at a completely different side. Man City were missing quite a few players today, man. Like John Stones won in the team. You're looking at Rodrigo, one of their best players, not being in the team either. Jack Grealish not in the team. Bernardo Silva, etc. That is a stacked bench, man. Stacked bench. Yet they look just as good, if not slightly worse. So I expect all those players to come back into the team. I think Rodri is one of the biggest misses in that Man City team. Genuinely, people underrate this Rodri guy, man. He is so good. When when Rodri is in that team, right, City look a completely different beast. The way he's able in transition to either win the ball back or give away tactical fouls, etc., to slow down the opposition is so important. So when he comes into the team to play Real Madrid, as I expect on Tuesday, unless Pep Guardiola does a massive overthink, I expect them to raise the levels and go again and be even better. But this game was all about getting the 3 points for Man City, right? They're playing at Leeds United, a new manager bounce under Sam Allardyce. All the talk pretty much about how he's going to be set up pragmatic. He's not going to want possession. He's going to want to play on the counter-attack, defend deep. Man City just had to deal with the work they had in front of them. They did that. I think the first half, they were brilliant. Genuinely very, very good, man. They were patient. They were making the right passes. And they were exploiting Leeds, not basically defending the cutback. On 3 occasions, the ball from Man City, it went out wide because Leeds were compressing the middle of the park, compressing the defense, the center of the field, which is what you're meant to do. Every defensive manager teaches it. Defend narrow, attack wide. It's the basics, it's the fundamentals of football. But you're giving too much time on the ball to Mahrez, too much time on the ball to De Bruyne, to players like that, to Foden, to pick out an exquisite pass. And once again, along the floor, cutbacks was the bread and butter for Man City. They had already their shot from Julian Alvarez. Missed for me, he should score that. Literally after 7 minutes, Julian Alvarez, middle of the box, low ball, cut back. He has to score. But they didn't learn their lesson because Ilkay Gundogan got 2 more in exactly the same fashion. And that made Man City go 2-0 up. And that point, I thought the game was over, man, to be completely honest. Chelsea are staying up. They are indeed, man, beating Bournemouth 3-1. That's a big result for them, man. Confidence-wise, it'll be it's a massive victory. Worst game from Haaland for a while. Maybe it's because it's against the city of his birth. Well, here's the thing, right? I labeled the title of this video, Haaland is human, because we seem to forget it sometimes. You're right. Like, he had about 5 or 6 gilt-edged chances he should have scored, to be completely honest. Even the penalty, like, he should take that, but he gives it to Gundogan to give him his hat-trick. Then, obviously, Pep Guardiola is complaining afterwards. I think that's quite ironic from Guardiola complaining after the penalty's been taken. Like, it's easy to complain when it backfires, but trust me when I tell you this, if Gundogan scored that penalty, Pep Guardiola would be the first one to his feet clapping and saying, oh my God, what a brilliant player. First hat-trick he scored for Man City and well-deserved, long time coming. So if you're going to say, you should have said it from the start. Now, I'm just saying this. Obviously, Pep Guardiola could have said before, no, Haaland take the penalty, but he didn't. He didn't say it until after the penalty was taken, because I guarantee if he told them, Haaland, you take that penalty, you're not going to go against Pep Guardiola's word. Trust me, they wouldn't. So I think it's a bit ironic for him to say after the penalty's been taken that Haaland should have taken it. But I agree as well. I think Haaland should have taken the penalty. It's one thing giving Gundogan the penalty to get his hat-trick. Another thing is, right, you've got to give Haaland the goals because he was missing goals today, right? I'm not saying that he's not going to go on a bad run of form at all. I expect him to bounce back definitely on the weekend, if not in midweek against Real Madrid. But still, as a striker, you want to score goals, man. You want to score goals. And he missed a lot of good chances today, genuinely. Like, there's one in the first half when genuinely would have been goal of the season. When Ilkay Gundogan outside the foot just plays it over the top of the defense. It's such a delicious ball. And then De Bruyne, a no-look flick back into the path of Haaland, just wide the post. That was a really good chance. Again, in the second half, he had basically a wide open header. He missed straight at the goalkeeper. So Haaland needs to get goals, man. And because in midweek, look, all his goals in the Premier League has been brilliant. Top goal scorer in the Premier League, broke the record for the most goals in a Premier League season. But they bought him for the Champions League. I'm not a criminal in saying that. That's not an unpopular opinion. Haaland has been bought in by Pep Guardiola to win the Champions League. He already won the Premier League with Jesus. He already won the Premier League with Sane, Sterling, etc. He bought in Haaland because he wants him in the big matches. So my question is, how is Haaland going to perform on Tuesday against Real Madrid? Because he can't miss the chance he missed today. I'll tell you that for free. He can't miss the chance he missed today against Real Madrid because that is where they're going to need him, man. That is where they're going to need him to stand up. Chelsea win, I'm shocked. Well, it feels like that, man, because we're expecting Chelsea to lose every week. And look, Bournemouth ain't an easy game away from him. Bournemouth have done quite well recently, but I think a bit of the mentality for the Bournemouth players is they're on the beach now. I think they believe they're safe. It's not the right mentality because you never know. You never know in football, but I think they've done enough in recent weeks to survive Bournemouth. A good result for Leeds, only 2 past them. This was a damage limitation game. I hear you, Scott. I do hear you. But another part is, right, they haven't got enough fixtures for that mentality. They genuinely have not got enough fixtures left in the season to go, oh, we only lost 2-1 against Man City. Most teams get beaten 4, 5, 6 here. Good result. Nah, they need the points, man. They need the points. And look, I saw the Leeds United game plan. Genuinely, I did. And we all know what Sam Allardyce is going to do, man. It's not rocket science. It's defend deep. It's defend well and hit on the counter-attack. Long ball FC. If they had a proper out ball out there, they could have got something from the game. Because there's so many times when the ball was lumped forwards and Patrick Bamford, the ball just didn't stick to him whatsoever, man. He was a mannequin. He was a training cone. That guy he stunk today, Patrick Bamford, man. I don't know how he lasted 85 minutes. Like, genuinely, he was crap, man. Absolutely crap. So I'm looking at him thinking, if they had a proper out ball up there, where even if it was Somerville, even if it was Rodrigo from the start of the game, Leeds United could have got something because they had the chances on the counter-attack. It was pragmatic. It was efficient, but it was working to an extent. But you look at it and you think you need the points because you got Tottenham coming up, you got Newcastle coming up, you got West Ham coming up. Those are the 3 games for Leeds United. And it's looking a bit rougher now. I can't lie. Like, they're my picks to go down. Southampton, Leeds United, Nottingham Forest are my 3 right now to go down. But let's see, man. A lot can change. I agree. Pep flip-flops. He does a little bit, man. He does a little bit. I don't take it away from him, though. He's a brilliant manager. Outstanding. Could have been a lot more. This result will give Leeds supporters hope for the next matches. I think they'll set up only because others below them will do worse. But this is the thing, right? Leeds United aren't in the relegation zone right now, but the fixtures are unkind to them and their form is crap. That's the 2 things that worries me about Leeds. Because if you look at the table-wise, they're still not in the relegation zone right now. So you're probably thinking, why do I think they're going to get relegated? It's because the fixtures are peak for them. It's so tough. And also, they don't look good. Now, under Sam Allardyce, that could change. And I believe he's got a bonus of 2.5 million if he keeps the team alive, which is crazy. Imagine managing 4 games and you could win 2.5 million pounds for that. Or you could earn 2.5 million pounds. That is crazy, man. But if they survive, fair play to them, man. Fair play to them. Bournemouth on the beach, literally, bro. Yeah, exactly. On the coast, man. Bamford is so lazy. He is, man. And look, I would have gone from Rodrigo. I would have gone with Rodrigo from the start. Bamford has cost Leeds. He's one of the most overrated number 9s in football. Genuinely, he is, especially in the Premier League. Because what this man does, right, yeah, is he's injured for half the season. Then he comes back and maybe puts in 1 good performance and the rest of them are awful. Against Leicester a few weeks back, right? Or not even a few weeks back, like a week or so ago. I reviewed that game afterwards and he had a gilt-edged chance at the end of the game to score. And that would have given Leeds a 2-1 win and maybe would have taken them out, like basically not out of contention of getting relegated, but you know what I mean? Like giving them a massive boost. But he misses right in front of the goal. And again today, man, I know it's tough. I know you've got a Kanji. You've got, of course, Laporte to deal with, etc. You've got Ake as well to deal with. But the ball's got to stick to you a little bit better, man. A little bit better. Like, what does he do? He was a mannequin today. He was a training cone. He was there to do cardio. He might as well have gone to the gym and run on the treadmill for 90 minutes. Because what else did he do? No impact whatsoever, man. 0 impact. Like, Rodrigo came on, he did more. Like, Genotto, however you pronounce his name, Enyotto, massive fan of the kid, bro. Young player, young Italian. He was trying to get close to Bamford, but the ball weren't sticking to Bamford. Like, the game plan was simple for Sam Allardyce, right? Get the ball into Bamford and then play off him with Jack Harrison, with Yonto, etc., Weston McKennie, and play off that. But if the ball don't go to the striker, if the target man isn't being a target man, the plan can only go so far. The plan can only go so far, man. And that was the problem. So for me, I think as soon as he saw Bamford wasn't getting any joy, he should have brought Rodrigo miles earlier. How he lost to the 85th minute is beyond me. Because, look, after 60 minutes, I would have taken off Bamford. I would have gone with Rodrigo. I would have kept Gnotto on the pitch, bring on Somerville, and then you got to go for it. rely on counter-attack rather than rely on target man. That's what I would have gone for. But look, it's a lesson for Sam Allardyce. That's his first game. He's got 3 massive games coming up. Massive games. But I'm just annoyed as an Arsenal fan also because I wanted Leeds obviously to get a result. But also from just like a neutral standpoint, there was an option here for Leeds to get something. Now, you can say that Man City deserved the win they did, 100%. Like, Haaland missed some big chances. But you're looking at it thinking, Haaland ain't going to perform like this again till the end of the season, in my opinion. Like, this was an off day for him. Like, genuinely, he could have got a hat-trick today, and he missed every single chance he got. So I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, on the days that Haaland has an off day, you got to capitalise. You have to. And Leeds United didn't do that. They need points against Spurs and West Ham. Agree. And look, Newcastle as well, they've got a game coming up. That's going to be tough as well. So it's going to be very tough for them, man. But who knows? I'll be covering it till the end of the season. As everyone knows, football-related content on this channel until the end of the season. Relegation battle, title race, top 4, Europa League, Europa Conference League, you name it. And then Champions League games in midweek I'll be covering on this channel. So yeah, let's see what happens. But I think Leeds are goners. That's my prediction. That's my prediction right now. I think Leeds, Southampton, and Nottingham Forest are the 3 teams to go down. Southampton bottom, Leeds 19th, and Forest 18th. P. Morton, appreciate you joining the stream as always, my friend. Bamford is pretty useless. He doesn't do anything well, and he has a top speed of an in-shape 40-year-old accountant. Bro, exactly. He's in the team, right, to be a target man, and he wasn't doing that whatsoever. Wasn't doing that one bit, man. And look, I could see the game plan, though, from Leeds United and Sam Allardyce, because a lot of teams, when they play against City, right, they park the bus. And make no mistake about it, Sam Allardyce parked the bus, but he left Bamford up front. A lot of teams that their striker drops in as well and presses, but Bamford, they left him to try and be like an out ball. But the problem is he was the wrong out ball. If you're going to leave a man up front, right, you've got to leave a man up front that can run in behind and provide some kind of threat. And he wasn't that. He wasn't strong enough. He was getting beaten to the ball by a Kanji, by Laporte, by a Ake, and he wasn't fast enough. So what did he dominate them in? Nothing whatsoever. It was just recycled possession every single time. So I'm looking, I'm thinking, Bamford can't play for the rest of these games. He can't. Genuinely, I'd rather see Rodrigo through the middle. He was firing at the start of the season, Rodrigo. He was. So for me, I think he should do that. Maybe it's just the English bias. That's why I played Bamford. I think Brentford will get a result today. Liverpool rode their luck last few games. Well, listen, the thing. Brentford are a good team away from home against the big teams, man. They know how to shut up shop. They know how to defend well. They know they've got a counter-attacking threat as well. I'll be covering that game, of course, on this channel. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. I'd won the assistant Sam wanted to bring and couldn't because he's on jury duty. How unfortunate is that timing? That is crazy, man. He got called in for jury service, so he couldn't be one of the assistants. I don't think it would have made a massive difference, but wow, that's crazy, man. I'm predicting a draw for Brentford today, Tommy. Yeah, my prediction as well is 1-1 draw between Liverpool and Brentford. We'll be covering it on this channel. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Man City fans and football fans in general, my next reaction for you lot as well. Don't worry about it. Real Madrid on Tuesday, 10 p.m. stream starts. Cannot wait for that game. What a massive game that will be. That was Sammy Lee. Thoughts and results today. Wolves 1-0 Aston Villa. That's a big result for Wolves as well, man. Not in terms of table position, but just to beat Aston Villa. Aston Villa have been firing recently under Unai Emery. I believe Tottenham won as well. Let me check out the fixtures. Premier League fixtures. I believe Tottenham beat Crystal Palace and Harry Kane. Congratulations to him, man. He's now surpassed Wayne Rooney and he's now got Alan Shearer firmly in his sights as a next player. Well, basically the only player left. If he gets more goals than Shearer now, he's become the Premier League all-time top goal scorer. So yeah, congratulations to Harry Kane. That's a big goal for Tottenham as well. Scoring on the stroke of half-time to give them the win over a Roy Hodgson Crystal Palace side, which has done really well in recent weeks. You've of course got Man City winning this game as well, and Chelsea, a massive victory for them, man. Massive win. And the big thing for Chelsea as well, right, is it's one thing winning the game. They scored 3 goals. Like, that's more goals than they scored in the whole of April combined. So you're looking, you're thinking confidence back, goals flowing as well. We've got a couple goals late for Badiashile and João Felix as well. So yeah, big up Chelsea for that, man. They're not going to get relegated. I don't know why anyone ever thought that was a possibility, to be honest. But they need to turn it around. I've got stock in Chelsea turn it around next season, man. I've got stock in it. I like Somerville because he's so slight. He's literally running for his life out there. It creates magic sometimes. Well, this is the thing, right? The reason I had some faith in Leeds United is because they're the only team to beat Anfield this season. Sorry, the only team to beat Liverpool at Anfield this season when they won that game 2-1 and Somerville scored last second. So I'm looking, I think, Sam Allardyce, defend well, play on the counter-attack. There could be something there for them. There could be. When he went 2-0 down, I lost hope. I can't lie to you, I lost hope. But if he went from the start with Wilfred Enyotto, Somerville, Jack Harrison, Rodrigo, and then just basically just went for pace, pure pace, there could have been something there because I saw the game plan. Leave Somerville up front if you have to. Leave Rodrigo up front if you have to. As like a target man / running behind man. And they could have got something from the game today. They didn't. They went with Bamford. He seems like a square peg in a round hole, to be honest, man. He seems a bit out of place in his Leeds United side. He's not fit majority of the season. When he is fit, he doesn't do enough for me. I think they need to move on from him. Genuinely, I think they need to, man. Thoughts and results today. Wolves 1-0, Aston Villa, Tottenham 1-0, Palace, City 2-1 Leeds. Bournemouth 1-3. Chelsea, yeah, just went through those results. Big wins for the teams involved, man, that won the game. Tottenham as well. That's a big win for them, man, to build on the tough loss against Liverpool last week. Of course, I covered that game on this channel. And they were unlucky to lose that game in the fashion that they did. But it was nice to see them get the win back. Bamford has New Balance boots. I'm convinced. This guy is absolutely crap, man. Absolutely crap. Badiashile comes in and scores and defends well. Why has this geezer not been playing? I want answers. Yeah, Badishile's a great player for literally one of the better signings they've made, man. And I've got stock in Wesley Fofana and Badiashile being the centre-back partnership for years to come at Chelsea. Haaland's worst game of the season. Palace played terrible today. This is the thing. Yeah, I agree. The title of this video is Haaland is human because he wasn't at the races today. He wasn't one bit. And that's why I'm looking at Leeds. And you can say, oh, Leeds, they only lost 2-1. That's a good result. And look, many people would have expected Man City to win this game 4-5-6-0 potentially. But when you look at the fact that Haaland had a terrible game, like on another day he would score a hat-trick today, and you had some chances on the counter-attack, if Bamford wasn't such a stick man up front, you maybe would have got some more. You could have got a result today. Like Leeds United genuinely in another world would have got a result today. And that's the craziest thing. Plus the fact that City, of course, have got Real Madrid in midweek. So they rested Rodri, one of their better players. Arguably their best player, Rodri, in terms of how important he is to that team. He's literally the glue from defense to attack. In another day, they could have got a result today. Obviously, it didn't pan out that way. And it's one of those things. But Haaland, then he needs to fire in midweek because he's been bought in for the Champions League games. Haaland hasn't been bought in to win Premier League matches. I don't care what anyone says. Pep Guardiola can gas up the Premier League all he wants. Haaland has been brought in to win City the Champions League. If he wanted to win the Premier League, he would have stuck with Jesus. Let's be real about it. So now he needs to fire on the week against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. That's why they brought him for. That's why, personally, I would have given Haaland a penalty. I know Gundogan was on a hat-trick. I know it's momentous. I know it's amazing. Gundogan's first hat-trick for Man City, even though he missed it. But for me, you give that penalty to Haaland. The brother needs to score a goal. He gets that goal, his confidence is back. I don't think his confidence was gone. Make no mistake about it. He's still a machine. He's still a robot. This is just an off game for him. I don't expect him to perform this badly until the end of the season, to be completely honest. I think this is one blip game. But regardless, you never know. You never know, man. So get him the goal with the penalty. Give him a little bit of confidence so you can say, even though I played a crap game, I still got a goal. Because now you need him to fire on during the week against Real Madrid on Tuesday, which I will be covering on this channel, by the way. So make sure you subscribe to on notifications. You do not want to miss my Real Madrid versus Man City reaction at 10 p.m. start. I want to hear all your thoughts in the live chat regarding that as well. And my Champions League predictions as well coming Tuesday as the stream. The stream set to start about 7 p.m. I'll be predicting the Champions League semi-final winners. You don't want to miss that either. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm thinking Leeds United, hard games left. For me, I think they're going to go down. They needed to get some results. They didn't today. Let's see what comes from it. That's the real question. And Palace played terrible today. I didn't watch the game, of course, but I thought they would get a result against Tottenham. I know Tottenham have been a bit feeble recently. They haven't started the best. Under Roy Hodgson, Palace have looked so good. But I think maybe it was just one of those games for Palace. Look, they're 12th right now. It's not the end of the world. You're going to have a new manager in the summer. I don't expect Roy Hodgson to stay there. Let's see how you build next season. Let's see how you build. Because I feel like Palace has always been one step forward, one step back. Like you haven't really progressed. You don't get relegated, but you don't move forward. Whereas I look at teams like Brentford and Brighton, since they've been promoted to the Premier League, they've taken a step forward and gone on to that next step, which is fighting for Europe, etc. Palace have just been like dwindling around mid-table. I want to see them take that next step onwards and kick on for me. That's the real question mark. And whoever that next manager is, he's got to make that a priority. They've got some good players there, man. Zaha, Elise, Eze, they're not bad footballers whatsoever, man. So they've got to take that next step for me. Harrison only plays well in 2 minute spurts. Unfortunately, he's only had about 6 minutes every 90. 6 good minutes every 90. What's the thing with Jack Harrison, man? I'm not his biggest fan either, but the man will give you energy. That's what I like about him. He's good going forward. Well, he's all right going forward. And he's all right going back. So I think he's all right to play in that team. I'd play him. My free for Leeds United would have been Somerville, Iñárritu, and Rodrigo. That's who it would have been. But if Harrison plays, man. Because I understand it's Sam Allardyce. He's not going to play free attack-minded players. He's going to want Jack Harrison for the defensive contribution. But you can't play Iñárritu as the only Donny that's got pace in the team. It's just my opinion against Man City. This ain't the same Man City team where you're going to win by set pieces. This ain't the Man City team from a few seasons ago where you could bully them from set pieces. They're better than that now. They are. Like, there's units in that team. Normally, I'd say that Man City, brilliant tippy-tappy side, brilliant technical ability, but you can bully them from the set pieces. But that's not the case anymore. Like, look at the units they've got in that team. Haaland. They've got Akanji playing today. They've got players like Laporte, Ake. Like, they got some big boys in that team, man. Like, you do not want to play Man City at a set piece. Genuinely, that's their outball sometimes. Like, even when Man City kick it long, Haaland can become a target man just as much as he can become a goal scorer at the end. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at, I think, you got to win the game by pace. You got to win the game by pace, especially with Carl Walker not being in the team either. But it didn't end up happening for them, man. And look, it's one of those things. Sam Allardyce will bounce back. He knows he's got a massive, massive job on his hands, but the incentive is there. The incentive is there for Leeds United. The incentive for Sam Allardyce is there as well, man. £2.5 million paycheck if he keeps them up. Bamford is so washed up. He is, man. He is indeed. I genuinely think we could see Badiashile and Sleeper starting for France the next Euros or World Cup. Too soon for me. And France are stacked, man. Like, I know Upamecano was crap for Bayern against Man City, but he's in that team as well, man. Like, France got a stacked back four. Wolves, another win at home against Villa. Well, look, Lopetegui is doing a brilliant job, but Wolves, man, brilliant job. Let's see how they progress next season. Can they take the next step? Because when he came into the job, right, they were 20th, and he's gone a bit under the cosh. I think he's been a bit underrated as one of the managers because no one talks about him as manager of the season, myself included. I'm including myself in this boat because a lot of people talk about, oh, Unai Emery, what a job he's done since he's come in. Gary O'Neill, what a job he's done for Bournemouth since he's come in. Oh, what a job that certain other managers done. Eddie Howe, what a brilliant job. Mikel Arteta, outstanding. De Zerbi, brilliant job. No one talks about Lopetegui in that same respect. Give the man his flowers. They were 20th. They were really struggling under Bruno Lage. He comes in, he keeps the ship afloat. He keeps the ship steady. And I think because maybe he didn't come in during crunch time of the season, he doesn't get the same sort of respect. But I think he's done a brilliant job at Wolves. Genuinely a really good job. Maybe Bamford is really good at keeping me up, at keep-ups. He should retire and start a YouTube channel or something. Maybe, man, maybe. Darren England supports Tottenham. Darren England was against us today. Well, let me just say, yeah, the refs are crap. The refs are crap, man. Even today's ref, Andy Madley. Now, make no mistake about it. Andy Madley wasn't the reason that Man City won this game. But I look at the little things from it, and the ref has zero control of the football match. And I'm not one to complain about referees. Those of you that have been on this channel multiple times know that I rarely talk about referees, man. And if I do, I say that a good team takes referee out the equation. It's only bad teams that complain about the ref because they need the ref to give them the win, basically. But today, I see these little things, man, like body-to-body contacts. Right at the end of the game, Weston McKennie, body-to-body against Ilkay Gundogan, 50-50, and it just gives a foul to Man City. Little things. Even the penalty now, for me, I think that's touch and go if it's a penalty or not. Now, you can say it's poor from strike, and I believe it is poor from strike. Why he's bringing down Foden when he's about to run off the pitch is beyond me. Like, the angle he's trying to shoot at, he's not like he's going to score from that angle either. But even so, the contact's minimal. Like, he can't wait to blow his whistle, the referee. I just think the standard of refereeing generally in the UK is crap. It's absolutely crap. I hear Bamford has good hold-up play, but he's too slow to run onto a through ball. So it's no point. He never wins the ball. Look, I'll be real with you, yeah? If I'm judging Bamford's hold-up play on today's game, this man has zero hold-up play. Like I said, he was just a mannequin up there. He was just doing cardio. He might as well have just gone to Pure Gym and run on the treadmill for 85 minutes because it would have been the same impact for him. Zero offensive output whatsoever. I see why the game plan was there. It was Bamford stayed up front. He didn't even bother going back on defense to be that man to try and get the ball and then play off him and then maybe play off Giotto and Weston McKennie and players like that, Jack Harrison as well. But it didn't work. Like you're right. He's too slow and he's not strong enough. And you need to win on one of the two aspects. Now, when you're playing against Ake at the back, Akanji at the back, Laporte in the back, you either have to be stronger than them or fast on them. If you're weaker than them and slower than them, what do you bring to the table? Because you're going to get beaten every single time to the ball. You're going to get beaten on pace and strength. Bamford had none of the two characteristics. And so for me, if I was Sam Allardyce, and obviously I haven't got the same credibility in football that Sam Allardyce does, but if I would have looked at it and gone, why not play Rodrigo? Why not even play Somerville down the middle? At least because they would have won by pace. And if that means the outball is going long, which you would have done anyway, but going in behind and long, that would have been a bet. That would have been the best bet for me. That would have been a better bet than just playing Bamford, who was literally just doing cardio. Like I said, go to Pure Gym and run the treadmill for 85 minutes because it was the same thing. It was the same thing for him. Good result for Wolves after their 6-0 hammering. Exactly, yeah, really good result. Aronson has energy, but he has shot power of a 10-year-old kicking balloons. That is a crazy analogy, man. But here's the thing, right? Leeds United, for me, if they go down, it's fair play for them going down because I think they made the wrong decision. First of all, they sacked Bielsa, which is a wrong decision for me. Then they sacked Jesse Marsch. That, for me, was a wrong decision. I had a lot of faith in Jesse Marsch. First, not even the case of whether he was a good manager or not. I thought he was doing an all right job there. Now, none of the results weren't going his way, but in the January, he brought in his players. He brought in Weston McKennie, an American boy, his own, basically. He brought in Jorginho Rutner as well. That's his boy. Aronson's his boy. Tyler Adams is his boy. He's got the USA team basically in Leeds United. They sack him without even having a chance to use the January signings. They sack him literally the week after the January transfer window ended. That's very unfair. The man they bring in, I've got all my receipts. So anyone that says I'm lying, watch my old videos back. I said Javi Gracia was a terrible appointment. Absolutely terrible. He doesn't not know how to keep the team afloat. And what they've done is they've brought in a manager to keep them afloat, and they've sacked that same manager to bring in Sam Allardyce. They got cold feet and they're shivering. They're shivering. Like, this is the only thing they could do. They're offering Sam Allardyce £2.5 million to keep them up. So for me, if they go down, they go down. And I think they deserve it in terms of the terrible choices from the hierarchy, the choices from above. But that being said, right, you're right. Players like Aronson would give you energy. Players like Ignotto would give you energy. Players like Somerville would give you energy. Bamford doesn't give you energy. Bamford's just a brick wall up there, man. He turns like a double-decker bus. So for me, wrong choice, man. You stream Liverpool game? Yes, I am. 7:30 p.m. on this channel. Liverpool versus Brentford review. You don't want to tune in as well. I'll be talking about Liverpool game, talking about Brentford game, as well as a bit about this game as well. So yeah, bring all your questions there as well. Palace have looked informed because they have been playing the bottom of the table. Amazing how difficult Vieira's last 10 matches compared to how easy remaining matches after he was fired. Jeff, you make an absolutely brilliant point. You make an absolutely brilliant point, my friend. And you're right. I think Vieira was unlucky to get sacked. Now, I would not have sacked him personally for multiple reasons. I know the results were bad. I know they weren't scoring goals. But another thing is, right, you brought in Roy Hodgson to keep you afloat. Now, I don't think the Crystal Palace's relegation hopes were that bad. It wasn't in desperate crisis mode. Let's be real about it. I know the momentum and the form was terrible, but they were nowhere near the bottom of the table. They were still in 11th, 12th, 13th. They brought in Roy Hodgson, right? They're not going to have him. They're not going to have him next season. He's going to retire again. So now what's happened is you're going to have to start another process next season. If you start with Vieira, if you believed in him, now if they didn't believe in him, fair play. You sacked him. You don't believe in the manager. But if you believed in Vieira, what you've done right now is, you have to start another process in the summer or next season. So you've just gone back to square one again. You'll stay in the Premier League, you will, but whoever Chris Palace bring in next, right? They've got to bring in a manager that they trust and believe in and that can actually bring a process into that football club. You got to, because you sacked Vieira, who's meant to be your manager, to start a new era, start the new process, and you didn't trust it. You didn't trust the process. So let's see what happens with Palace, man. Like I said, they're one of the teams in the Premier League that have just literally just been dwindling around mid-table for so long. I want to see them kick on. Brighton and Brentford came to the Premier League for later than Chris Palace did. Yet they've taken the next step and kicked on in their Premier League careers and gone on to potentially fight for Europe. Gone on to be a team that's feared in some respects. Chris Palace, don't get me wrong, at Selhurst Park is always a tough game, but you're not going to see them fight for Europe. You're not really going to see them in a relegation battle either. They're just there. They're just mid-table mediocrity. And it's sad to see because they've been in the Premier League for a while now. I don't expect them to take that next step, but they just haven't done. The rest of England are rubbish. At least that's something we can agree on. They're rubbish for every team. They're consistently crap. I hope Arsenal win tomorrow. Myself included, man. Myself included. Come on, Arsenal, bro. You have to win. Streaming 6:30 p.m. tomorrow after Newcastle versus Arsenal. You do not want to miss it. Go CR7 Ronaldo. Appreciate you on the stream as always, my friend. Hope you don't get annoyed about my shirt. Arsenal will beat Newcastle tomorrow. And I think City will lose one game the rest of the season against Everton. And we will lose the title by 1 point. And if that is the case, and which, to be fair, it can happen. It is a likely-ish outcome. That would really pain me. If Arsenal lose the title by less than 3 points or less, that will pain me because that means we lost the title losing to Newcastle and Southampton. Genuinely, that's what it means. Imagine. Sorry, not losing, but drawing, not Newcastle, drawing to Southampton and West Ham. If Arsenal lose the title by 3 points or less, or even 4 points or less, it's because we lost the title to Southampton and West Ham. That's the saddest thing, man. Saddest thing. 180 minutes will be Guardiola's glory or disgrace. You make a brilliant point. And I'm one of these people, right? I'm a massive fan of Guardiola. I think he's done a brilliant job. But I'm also someone that says he needs to be judged in the Champions League now. I know he's going to win the Premier League 3 years in a row, and it's a brilliant story, but this man needs to win the Champions League because I always reserve the right to say Guardiola in terms of consistency, Guardiola in terms of managing personalities, Guardiola in terms of building a team that's sustainable, plays brilliant football, etc., and dominates teams. He's one of the best about, arguably the best ever about. But in one-off games, I think Mourinho has his number, Ancelotti has his number, Tuchel has his number. In one-off games, there's certain managers that I would pick over Pep Guardiola. That's just my thoughts on it. He needs to win the Champions League with Man City. He needs to prove that he can win the Champions League without Messi. And people say he doesn't need to prove that. He's got nothing left to prove. For me, I think you've always got something to prove. You should always strive for excellence. And he doesn't want that. And no matter what he says, he can talk about how, the Premier League is all I care about. Champions League is rare to win. The Premier League is what I want to win. That's the most important. That's the hardest to win. And I agree with you. The Premier League probably is harder to win than the Champions League. But that doesn't mean you should just skive off win the Champions League. And I think deep down he knows he wants to win the Champions League as well. That is why he brought in Erling Haaland. This is my opinion on it, yeah? If Man City had already won the Champions League, they don't bring in Erling Haaland. Because I think Pep Guardiola knows that Erling Haaland isn't the type of striker he likes. He wants a striker that's kind of like Alvarez, if anything. A striker that drops in, plays link-up football, is more of like a press type striker, more of a midfield type striker, a centre forward, just like David Villa was, just like Messi is. He doesn't want an out-and-out striker that's a bit clumsy at times, just raw, athletic. But what he's decided is, right, we're probably going to win the Champions League with or without... Sorry, we're probably going to win the Premier League with or without Haaland. We won it with Jesus. But in the one-off matches in Champions League, against Real Madrid over 2 ties, against Bayern Munich over 2 ties, in the Champions League final, I can't rely on Jesus. I need an X factor. I need a goal scorer. So that's why I'm bringing in Haaland. That's what I think Pep Guardiola's assessed it. I think he knows that in the Premier League, he would win it with or without Haaland, as he's proven in recent years. but he can't seem to win the Champions League with his Premier League team. So he needs an X factor. He needs to abandon his philosophy around football, which is beautiful football, 10 midfielders on the pitch, basically, pass, to bring in a Donny that will literally just score goals. I think that's what he's trying to do. And let's see. I 100% agree with you. Those 180 minutes against Real Madrid will make or break for me their season. Because even if they win the Premier League, it's 3 in a row. Brilliant. But he's been brought in to win the Champions League. Like, for me, his legacy will also be judged in the Champions League. I know the Premier League makes a massive impact on it, but that's just my thoughts on it, man. And let's see. I'll be covering both games on this channel. I cannot wait for them, man. Cannot wait one bit. I expected 4-0 seeing Haaland 2 goals, not 2-1. Yeah, I see your point. And I agree with you as well in many respects. I did think that Man City were going to walk away with this game, especially after it went 2-0 so early. I thought Leeds' only bet was keeping the game tight, but they didn't. And to be fair, they found a way back into the game. But it was too little too late. Let's be honest about it. Too little too late, man. The most important thing is the Champions League. Agree, Amine. 100% agree. He never won the ball. He was in the centre-back's pocket all match, unfortunately. Exactly for Bamford. Exactly. Are you doing a stream for West Ham versus AZ Alkmaar, the Europa Conference League game? Potentially, man. I'll see. There's no. I don't think I'm gonna. I might cover the Europa League games. I'll see. But Thursday, definitely the Champions League games. Both Champions League games, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and Real Madrid, Man City will both be covered on this channel as always. As well as all the Premier League games. A double header tomorrow, by the way. Newcastle, Arsenal, and United, West Ham. Both games covered on this channel. You do not want to miss it. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on bell notifications. Hit my community tab if you want to see my streaming schedule. In terms of the Champions League and Europa League games, definitely streams on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, maybe. We'll see. Let's get this stream up to more likes. Exactly, Night, man. You said it best. And subscribe if you're new around here as well for consistent football reactions and streams. Back later, bro. Going to watch Liverpool versus Brentford. Yes. Okay, no problem whatsoever, Tommy. I will be streaming after Liverpool versus Brentford on this channel. Make sure you do not miss it. 7:30 p.m. the stream will start. You deserve so many more subscribers. I found out about you after Arsenal City game, and the way you always go in depth about our comments is so good. Appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate streaming as always. Everyone that streams and leaves their comments, I really do appreciate it. Mr. Consistent on this channel, always streaming. I appreciate all the kind words. A lot of people have actually on my comments left some really kind words around my stream. So honestly, it means a lot to me. I used to do videos. Not many people know this, especially people that came new, but I used to just do videos. Like, I used to react to all the games, but I used to just do video reactions rather than live stream reactions. But I decided, you know what? Why not do live streams? Because I don't edit my videos anyway. I just talk off the top of my head, like basically just, you know what I mean? Like waffling in many respects. So I might as well get you lot's input as well. And I love hearing you lot's thoughts just as well as mine. Marshall's finally getting the defense right when he got sacked. Garcia undid all that quickly, and now Big Sam has 4-game runaway to fix it. Leeds board is a mess. Exactly, P. Morton. 100% agree. Hit the nail on the head. Look, Jesse Marsh is a young manager, and many will say in a relegation fight, you don't want a young manager. You don't want an inexperienced manager. It goes both ways. Of course, the experience will do the damage. Sorry, experience most likely will be better because you got managers, for example, like David Moyes, who's been kept in the job because of his experience. Let's be honest about it. Jesse Marsh, though, I saw a process there. And look, even if you got relegated to the Championship, so be it, man. So be it. At least you have a manager that's building something. He's got young players in the door. Wilfried Nyotto was firing for a period. Some of it was doing really well before the World Cup started. A young team looking to get better. Javi Gracia got brought in. I said it at the time. It's a terrible appointment. Absolutely terrible. And then you look at it, man, and you're thinking, they've shipped 6 goals to Liverpool. They shipped 5 goals to Crystal Palace. The defense is terrible. The form is terrible. They're not getting anything going. They've sacked the manager they've been brought in to keep them up. It's a car crash situation. Now they're brought in Sam Allardyce to save them, to salvage their season, but it looks too little too late. Let's see. Of course, I'll be reacting to a lot of Premier games from now towards the end of the season. Leeds United may surprise me and stay up, but who knows, man? Who knows? Pep wins Champions League this year. He's bouncing. Zlatan won't retire until Pep does because his petty is on 1,000%. Exactly, man. Exactly. And look, if Man City don't win the Champions League this season, yeah, genuinely, I think there's a Yaya Toure curse. Genuinely, I think it exists, man. There's no way. Because Man City, this team is the best. This is the best Man City team I've seen. This is better than the Centurion team, by the way. And by the way, I'm just going to go through the end of your comments before I turn off the stream because I do want to watch Liverpool Brentford, but not to worry. I'll be streaming straight after that game. So yeah, I'm just going to go through the end of your comments, then I'll lock off the stream and stream again once the Liverpool Brentford game finishes. But yeah, my opinion on this Man City team, yeah, I think it's better than the Centurion team. Call me crazy, but genuinely, if this Man City team that's playing basically since March, since the Nottingham Forest game finished 1-1, that game since then, yeah, if this Man City team played like this from the start of the season, they would go over 100 points easy, genuinely easy. This is the best team I've seen my own 2 eyes in the Premier League. They're the second best team I've seen, in my opinion, to the Pep Guardiola 2008 to 2012 tiki-taka Barcelona side. They're quality, man. Genuinely, this Man City team is quality. Liverpool game kicked off. Exactly, man. Exactly. I appreciate the comment reactions too. Subscribed. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate P. Morton. Everyone else that subscribed as well. I really do appreciate it on my road to 2,000 subscribers. Football reactions all the time. I appreciate everyone tuning in. My next stream, not to worry, it'll be 7:30 p.m. in about 2 hours' time after Liverpool versus Brentford is finished. I'm going to watch that game now. I want to hear all your reactions regarding that match. Also about this match as well. I understand I didn't have a lot of time to cover this match. My streams are usually at least 1 hour or so long. But yeah, I appreciate everyone tuning in as always. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notifications. Make sure you like the videos also. It goes out to more people. And if you're watching this now that the stream is done, make sure you let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be sure to react to it. This Man City team is crazy. It should be against the rules. Exactly, man. Look at the bench as well. It's absolutely stacked. Lol, exactly. Brentford are defending hard. Well, let's see, man. Let's see if Brentford get a point or at least a point at Anfield. Bye, mate. I appreciate everyone tuning in as always. Hope to see all of my next one. And if you just tune in now, scroll right back to the start of the stream so you can hear all my thoughts on Man City 2, Leeds United 1. I appreciate everyone tuning in as always. Hope to see all in my next one. Take care.